Before we jump into today's video, I want to let you guys know about something I'm doing over on my Twitter, but in that, we're going to be doing a little bit of a giveaway with Elgato Gaming. I teamed up with them a couple of months ago to become an official partner, and now we're able to do our first little giveaway together, in which we're giving away an HD60S capture card, which, for those of you guys that are either looking to start content creation, you may already be in it, and you want to improve your quality, Elgato Gaming products are the best on the market for you guys in terms of quality. So this is a great way to kind of jumpstart that if you guys are interested. Again, link is down there in the description below to go over to my Twitter to that post. It's really simple on how you enter. There's not really any rules or anything like that. It's just simply go there, check it out, do what the tweet says, and then you're entered in. So for those of you guys that are interested, best of luck. That's there for you guys to check out if you guys are interested. But now it's time to jump into the regularly scheduled content. So today the Blitzkrieg event ended up actually completing. We ended up seeing, as of 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and 6 p.m. GMT, an update rollout for Call of Duty World War II, in which that was the main ending factor for the event itself. The last 3 weeks were a lot of fun, but now moving forward, we get to look forward to the future and what's immediately in front of us as a part of that update and the changes that happened as a result. So the first thing that really I want to mention and note is that I was actually kind of surprised because we did get an actual update, a 1.6 gigabyte one at that, or relatively around there depending on what console you're on. But that was something that I may have either misinterpreted the blog post, but it seemed like from that, in last week's community update, Sledgehammer mentioned that it would be a hotfix and one that would just require a game update and restart. But regardless, we ended up getting one as is, to which again, was a decent size for it, so it might take you a little bit of time to download, it might not. Depends on your internet and everything you have available. But that said, that update went live and gave us a lot of things. So today in this video, we're gonna be taking a look at everything that changed as a result of this update for Call of Duty World War II. So let's start on out with the very basic stuff, the things you'll jump into the game and immediately notice because they're right there in front of you at the very forefront of the game, the first things that you'll load up. So the first thing you might notice is the quick menu imagery. Corporal Green is now back as the quartermaster. That is something that is prominently displayed there in that, once again, quick menu, which did replace the previous update, which held Captain Butcher as that quartermaster. Then we also see that the headquarters imagery on the quick menu selection is also different, so that's completely changed out from what it was. And I personally thought that going into it, we'd end up seeing a little bit more done to the headquarters rather than just that image change, but we'll get to that in just a second. But if we continue on a little bit further and you hit that tab button on your controller, or if you go over on mouse and keyboard, depending on the console and platform that you're on, you end up seeing that the news tab was changed a little bit as well. There's not really anything here with this one. It simply just says, "Welcome back, soldier." There's no real promo or anything that we've seen in the past couple of weeks promoting the Blitzkrieg event, promoting new weapons, promoting the community challenge, all that kind of stuff. That's been wiped, so that's probably going to be once again updated with whatever's next, but for the time being, it's back to the bare basics of simply "Welcome back, soldier." Jumping back though into where we can now go back to the quick menu selection and actually select a few things, let's jump in with Major Howard and take a look at our orders. Firstly, of course, we still have the daily orders going on. We still have the daily rotation of some armory credits, some social score, some XP, and then 2 supply drops as well. That's actually back up to 2 supply drop options instead of just 1 previously that we saw as of recently. But the weekly orders actually did change around a little bit, and if you guys actually jumped on at World War II right at the time of 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, and 6 p.m. GMT, you might have noticed that they actually glitched out a little bit, to which what we have now of 75 multi-kills, 500 kills, and the 10 kill streak medal 3 times gives you rare supply drops. A little bit of that was actually changed. There was one for 400 kills in ground war for a rare supply drop, and one that I believe was in place of that 500 kills for 500 kills for a Blitzkrieg Brad. But of course, then you end up actually getting the update and it goes live and then it fixes it out. So it's kind of just one of those crossover things where it's automated to update, but it didn't actually have what was supposed to be updated in place at the time. So that was one of those things that was kind of weird and very situational, and only if you saw it at a very specific point. But again, those 75 multi-kills, 500 kills, and 10 kill streak medal 3 times will give you rare supply drops for this upcoming week. Moving over into the other segment of where we can earn stuff, contracts is what we'll talk about next. When we go over to Corporal Green and visit her in the contract section, you can end up seeing the first thing is that we have a Sterling contract actually. This week's weapon contract for World War II is the Sterling for 30 hipfire kills in 1 hour, as well as costing you 5,000 armory credits. So firstly, this is awesome. Sterling is a great weapon that I think a lot of people should totally try and get if they don't have a variant already. But the second thing I pull from this is that there is really no discernible pattern or any real way that we can predict how they're throwing these out. So I'm gonna stop trying to predict these going forward because we ended up going from the oldest DLC weapons to the newest. But hey, I mean, if you missed it, it's a great chance to get this now. If you didn't get it out of collections or out of a variant and supply drops, it's available now for you guys this upcoming week. So take advantage of that if you guys are willing to spend the armored credits and don't have that. So the other counterpart of Corporal Green is the collections. These are now actually locked up. Not all of them, of course, just the Blitzkrieg ones. They are no longer able to be unlocked organically. Those items in the collections you may still be able to unlock via supply drop RNG, and if you have bribes available, you can get those from there as well, but you won't be able to complete the collections and get the complete collection rewards now as a result since they're locked up. So you unfortunately won't be able to get the Sterling variant, the baseball bat variant, the Itra Burst variants, or the uniform, but even if you end up completing everything in that classification, but you still can have the opportunity to get these smaller items underneath those collections. But other than that though, let's move outside of the Quartermaster. Let's go and talk a little bit about the game modes, because that was something that was changed around a little bit as well. If you jump in, you might see that once again the featured tab, the first thing you go to in Find a Match, that actually has been changed around a little bit, and a few things there were changed. The biggest things being that there are no longer the HQ 24/7 and the Ground War playlists listed in that featured tab. Ground War was actually removed entirely, which is a real bummer to me. I had a ton of fun on that and really wish that it would have stayed. I think that it was a great amount of fun. I think everybody seemed to really enjoy that, at least from what I saw. So unfortunately, it's not there anymore. I really wish it would be there still, and I hope that it comes back soon, but for the time being, it is gone. It is taken out of World War II, but HQ 24/7 actually stayed. That's just then in the Party Games tab along with Prop Hunt and Gun Game. Additionally, the DLC specific tabs are now actually removed, and we now have the War Machine mosh pits back in the Featured tab. So we don't have as many upper tabs kind of cluttering that Find a Match option, but it's now replaced some things and removed others as well. The next thing we have up on the list that changed is one that I'm actually pretty excited about. It's one that I usually always will get excited about because it's new content, that being new weapon variants. So we guessed it yesterday in the video talking about things to look out for this week, that we'd see new weapon variants added in with this update, and we were right, but not as many as we anticipated. But they do continue to follow the trend of the daily order weapons like the M1928, like the BAR, like the Lewis, like the Bren, like the Kar98K, the Combat Shotgun, the M30, the P08, and the 1911. Outside of that, we didn't see anything added in, or at least visibly added in, that we can take a look at in the different classifications of weapons and the variants you can see when you go to select that weapon. So as it stands right now, it's nothing super new, no real new designs or anything like that, but instead the counterpart variants to what we've already seen were added in, so either the epic or heroic variants that we were missing of these weapons with recent updates as well. So right off the bat, let's start out with the M1928. The epic Wayfinder variant was added in, which still has that glossy floral design in which we see in the heroic, but it also is covered in the oil, the dirtier aspect that we've come to know from the epic variants. Then we also have the Buck Private 2 heroic that was added in, that followed the design of the Buck Private epic, but still has in line with that cleaner serial number version. The BAR is next, and there was only one added for this, that being the Cool Hand 2 heroic variant, which I really like the Cool Hand, so I'm looking forward to seeing this one added in and being obtainable via the daily order. Might actually even use that over the old Captain 2 and the Dude Up 2. So next up, we have the Lewis, and that actually has two variants that were added into the game. The Boulevardier 2 Heroic, a cleaner version of the Epic that we received a few weeks back, and the other one being the English Oak 2, again, a cleaner version of the one we saw a few weeks ago in the daily order as well. Then we end up having the Bren with a few added in. The King and Country Epic is now in there, a muddied version of the Heroic that we got last week or the week before that. And then we also see the Crown 2 was added in, which is a much so cleaner version, very similar to what reminds me of the STG Haywire 2, with the matte black finish and the gold trim on that. Then we have the P08 with the Abwehr 2, again just a polished up version of the Epic, and the 1911 had the Heroic Juno 2 added in, as well, once again just following the cleaned up pattern with the Epic Juno that we saw a bit ago. There were, however, no variants added in for the Kar98K, the Combat Shotgun, or the M30 variants, so those ones, again, didn't really see all that much love or attention, and really just kind of caps off that these were finishing up what we've already seen, the counterparts to the weapon variants we've already had added in the past 2 to 3, 4 weeks, and what we'll see moving forward in the daily orders. So I don't know if we'll end up getting more after this, or if it'll start a rotation over, to which the daily orders are brand new ones in 2 weeks' time, or if at that point we just see these ones all cycle in and out again of the daily rotation. Now, the final thing that I want to talk about in terms of things that changed with this update, may just be me being a little bit crazy, or I might actually be on the mark here at this one, but it deals a little bit with the AFKing in the headquarters. Now, I think they might have fixed the headquarters farming method, to which I think that might be a little bit unfortunate. I actually really enjoyed that. Previously, you could sit in the HQ with the menu of some sort open, either that be the quick menu, your soldier menu, or whatever it may be, and you could end up sitting there and not getting kicked out because you weren't technically AFK. You weren't just sitting there viewing nothing in the headquarters, you were in a menu. But as of even recording this, swiveling over to face my microphone instead of my PS4 monitor when that was on, I actually got kicked for inactivity just being in my dossier or in my actual create a class menu. So that might be something of a little bug, maybe something that did actually get fixed out for that reason. I don't know exactly, but it was an interesting little observation I had that I want to throw in. I'll test that a little bit further in the upcoming day or so and maybe get back to you guys on that in a follow-up of some sort that we can throw that in with, but I want to let you guys know about that. But as for what we can round this video out with though, a few things that did not change were the headquarters. That was something that we still have, that completely broken down, run down vibe of the headquarters, the giant flak gun in the middle of the headquarters up at the top, and of course all that we saw within the Blitzkrieg event. That has not been changed out just yet. I don't know if it will be or if that's going to be there for a little bit of time going forward. Then we ended up seeing the contracts, same for the weapon contracts, actually stayed the same. Even the bribes themselves for the uniform, the charm, and the helmet bribes, those were all still there as well. The only thing that kind of changed back again was that the war one was reinstated into the contracts, whereas the past 3 to 4 days they were Blitzkrieg bribes for 90 kills. Other than that though, all the contracts were the same, and again, there really wasn't any major game changes that maybe some people thought we'd end up seeing a little bit of some smaller stuff that maybe fixed the bomb has been planted on our armor supply, any of the Master Prestige rewards, stuff like that. Those sorts of things have not been fixed out either with this update. So that's stuff we can still look forward to coming in the near future, but I want to let you guys know about absolutely everything that I observed here in the game. I went through meticulously and tried to find everything that I could, so hopefully I didn't miss anything, and if you guys did see that I missed anything, feel free to let me know down there in the comment section down below. But I'd love to get your thoughts and feedback. What is there out of this update you guys enjoy the most, that you don't like the most, whatever it may be, feel free to let me know down there in the comment section down below. But that's it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, make sure to drop a like down below. If you guys aren't new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding Call of Duty World War II. Anything regarding updates, news, tips, tricks, best class setups, all that good stuff, we got you covered here up on the channel. So if any of it interests you, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single thing. And if you guys want to follow me over on Twitter, that's the best place to get connected outside of YouTube. Practically live on Twitter. So if you guys want to strike up a conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be, link is down there in the description below. And finally, if you guys want to follow me over on Instagram as well, trying to get a little more active over there, so that link is as well in the description below. But all that said and out of the way, hopefully you guys had a fantastic day. Thanks all so much for watching. Mine has been Espresso. Take care, and peace.